So thank you very much, Mohammed and Tim and everybody at the Homeo Summit organization. I know there is quite a few people there. Thanks for inviting me and for this opportunity to give some ideas that might be helpful for your practice. So the title of this lecture today is How to Use Synthesis Adonis, and also how to not use Synthesis Adonis. And I have made it a little bit a Shakespearean title, because in fact, to use or not to use, to be or not to be, is also like explaining the argument why it would be interesting to use Adonis. And I'm going to give you a few ideas, just a few hints, which I hope and I believe will be immediately relevant and interesting in your practice. And they are based on the feedback we got since releasing Synthesis Adonis, okay? So I'm going to switch now to my PowerPoint presentation here. Tell me if you see it, Nakash.
Yes.
Yes. So Synthesis Adonis was released in May 2022. It's a while ago, 2 years ago. And we have thousands of people using it. And you may know it's been released in 9 languages. So there is really a lot of people out there. We still have a lot of people using Synthesis Treasure Edition, which is the previous release of Synthesis, okay? And even just a week ago, I got this very interesting email from Sarah Penrose from New Zealand, who is publishing a little booklet or a file, I don't know if electronic or book, but anyway, with 100 cases solved by the essential synthesis. So it's sure a fact that the different versions of synthesis, essential synthesis, treasure edition, but also synthesis Adonis, will help you to solve cases. By the way, this is the Adonis vernalis flower in yellow here. And of course, you can go on using essential synthesis, you can go on treasure edition, but I would like to give you some ideas why it may be appealing, interesting, challenging to use Synthesis Adonis. And I will not go into give the lecture of all the differences. The differences, this is my summary table, which you may have seen before, and saying the difference from Treasure Edition to Adonis, basically 12 years of work, more than 500,000 operations, 25% new information, etc., etc. I will not go into this kind of detail, but I would like to point you to our website, where a lot of information has been prepared. You have heard speaking Luke and Werner. I'm sure they spoke about Adonis as well. And I do believe this is probably so far the best thing I have done, because by creating Synthesis Adonis, I believe you have at hand probably the most complete and reliable repertory to date. So I will, after this wide-angle introduction, I want to focus. And I want to focus on families, on the idea of families. Because also after the release of Synthesis Adonis, where families were included into the repertory, we got a lot of questions about those families. And I would like to say exactly a few things about this. First of all, it is important to know that you can use Synthesis Adonis without families. Look here, you see the full repertory. And if you go to a rubric like Mind Jealousy, you see with the gray background. So Mohammed, you see my radar screen, my radar opus screen.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, in gray background, you see those families, okay? But then here, if you click on this little wheel, this is the icon for the configuration, you can go to the Remedies tab under Others. Please interrupt me if anytime I go too quick. And then you can choose here from the drop-down list, Don't Display Families, and look, the 203 remedies become 194 because the families have been hidden. You see? Now I will put it again as it was before, because this is the way I like it. And like this is the natrum family, natrum and compounds, followed by nat mure, nat s, natrum sulfur, natrum silica. So it's an easy way to see the family many times close to the remedies to which they belong. So you can use synthesis Adonis without families, no worries. It is all the information of the Treasure Edition and much more, created among others content by Gerard Megens, who's listening, and many other people. It is there and you can use it as a classical Kantian approach repertory. No problem at all. So I won't discuss this. I won't discuss either the way you can use families in some of the new ways. I just will tell you that we have more than 20 family repertories. You can see them here. You have general repertories, concept repertories here. All those repertories contain family information. You see, more than 20. We have here in the table of content tabs, do you see my arrow? We have separate families where you can do a number of things, more than 5,700. And at last, we have here under the search function, a family finder where you can type a word like speed. And then these words are linked to remedies, but also to families. So speed is linked to the family of the fish, Pisces, to the Aranea, the spiders, and to the birds. So there are all these ways to use families in the new way. Now, what I have been thinking, instead of giving more examples and explanations, which you may have had already, I would like to focus, if you are a classical homeopath, or for this patient, you would like to use a classical approach, how can families in Adonis and Rheteropus, of course, be of any benefit to you? This is the very specific question to which I would like to reply. And first, I will give you the idea. You're a classical homeopath, you have a traditional approach. So what you do, you listen to the patient. You may ask questions, and after you have done your analysis, your reflection, you take some symptoms from the repertory. Jealousy, fear of dark, desire potatoes, whatever. You take the symptom. This is the thing everybody has been doing always. And we take some symptoms. The only thing I would like to change, to tweak a little bit, is to request you to put the mind symptoms in one clipboard. Because if you do so, the symptoms which contain families are mostly mind symptoms. And if you do so, then the family will be highlighted more easily. But basically, the classical traditional approach can be used with Adonis. You take symptoms, put the mind symptoms in one clipboard. Some people have the habit of putting mind, generals, and locus in 3 different clipboards, or miasmatic clipboards, or whatever. But please put the mind symptoms in one clipboard. And when then you analyze these symptoms, you may see a remedy appear with an asterisk in the analysis, okay? And a remedy which is followed by an asterisk means that it is a family. And I would like to suggest that if this happens in the first 20 remedies, this is probably relevant information. And then we can limit this analysis and investigate a little bit the remedies of this family. So this is my, how shall I say, my general introduction. I will now switch to Rheteropus and show you in a precise way how this can work. So here is a case, okay? Okay. So this is a case of hemorrhoids, okay, the main problem. And we have some mental symptoms, ailments from discords, full of cares, haughtiness, and a sensation of heat. Okay, I have taken very regular symptoms as all our predecessors have done. And when I analyze this case, I see, of course, the sulfur, which was probably the remedy that came to mind because of memory. but I prefer to use the analysis because we have the precision and the completeness of the repertory within a second, much faster and much more complete than our memory. And we see there's Pulsatilla, Arsenicum, Lachesis, etc. And now you see here as well the remedy with an asterisk. You see that saxifragales, the little asterisk. This means that these symptoms also point to a family, not just to these precise remedies, but to a family. And it's number 9, so it's within the first 20, which means maybe if you gave the Pulsatilla and the sulfur already, and you are kind of stuck, but you would like to have some idea, well, follow me in this thinking. You see, the saxifragalis in this case is covering most all the symptoms, in fact. And the first next step you can do is to go to the saxifragalis and search for this remedy in all documents. So I just click right on the A, on the second letter, that's the most easy spot, of saxifragalis. I get this menu, right mouse menu, and I can search for this family as a remedy in all documents. When I do this, I see saxifragalis mostly in synthesis Adonis, where we have added it, and I can see that the saxifragalis as a family are covering ailments from discourse, full of cares. They have delusion, being alone, appreciated, excited, forsaken feeling, jealousy, etc., etc. I can see the symptoms, and I get a feel if this picture, it's a picture of a family, it's like a picture of a remedy, if this picture is fitting my patient more or less. Now, I suppose that in this case, the reply is yes. So I look at the saxifragalis family characteristics, and I say, yes, this patient may belong to this family. Because in the end, of course, we don't prescribe a family, we prescribe a remedy. So the next question then is, if I go again here to this right mouse click menu, the lowest feature allows me to limit the analysis, this current analysis, to the member of this family, which is the saxifragalis. Okay? And then I have this window, which gives me all the possibilities. I will use not the version 1 of the kingdoms, but the version 2, which has been updated by our dear friend Luke. And I select the saxifragalis here from the APG2 taxonomy. And then I see that Hamamelis is coming up and is covering, in fact, 4 symptoms: the ailments from discords, and the full of cares are there, the haughtiness, and, as you may know, a very strong remedy for hemorrhoids. So now I can go on, I can do many things, I can just click on Hamamelis, which will open the keynotes of Hamamelis, read the mind, the generals, the rectum symptoms, male, female symptoms, whatever I like to do, and decide if this remedy is fitting my patients. So I will ask if you understood all the points. I will take a little break to listen to you, and while you reflect whether you have a question, I will rephrase and summarize what I have been saying. And I will do it maybe by using the slides again. So you take the symptoms as always. You put the mind symptoms in one clipboard, especially if you have many symptoms. In this case, I had only few symptoms, and the remedy, the family, came out in the 21st. So that's easy. If that doesn't happen, you can always also limit the analysis to families only. So I'm still going to do that. Look, here is the analysis. I clear the filter, you see. And here I have, under the repertory views, I have a view only families. Do you see that? So now I will see only families of my analysis, okay? And indeed, the Saxifragalis are there, Orchidal, etc. And this will work. This will give you a reply, even if the remedy, the family is at position 21 or further. And again, you can decide you want to investigate this family or the remedies of this family, yes or no. So you have, this doesn't always apply, but if it applies, if there is a family in the first 20 of your well-chosen symptoms, then you will first find out, does the family fit? And second, which member of the family fits by the classical differential diagnosis, in this case, for example, between Hamamelis and Paeonia. Okay? So I pause a little bit to know if I have been too quick. If you have any questions, Mohammed, did you see anything in the chat?
Yes, there is a question that can you show again how you got from the family to the remedies?
From the family to the remedy. So from the family, so I am here at the family. I click right on the family. Are you with me? I have the right mouse hand menu. I chose the lower option, which is limit this analysis to the members of the family. Okay, I just click. This window opens, showing me all the families related to my remedy. Yeah. And I choose one of them, which shows me the remedies. Is this a reply to the question, or did I misunderstand?
Yes. It's replied. Now we have another question. Do
Yes,
we use family approach to find the remedy which is not seen in the first search? Which is not seen in the first search?
not seen in the first search. I don't understand what the first search means.
Hi, Daria, can you please rephrase your question?
So the first search, this is the first analysis. Is this what you mean?
Yes, I
Or
have
the,
asked you to rephrase their question. So,
yeah, or the person can speak maybe, whatever.
yes,
Yes.
Dr.
So maybe the question is, where is, of course, you can look for these remedies. So if you type ham here, search remedy, you see this, you can find Hamamelis anywhere in the analysis, but it appears only in position 33, you see? So this is why, maybe this is the question, this is why it's not very apparent. Pulsatilla and sulfur, maybe lachesis, are the obvious remedies for this type of setting of symptoms, etc. And so, and different ways of repertorization are in fact different ways to bring forward certain remedies, you see? And I'm explaining now how the family thinking can help to bring forward a remedy which is only in position 33 in this case. Is this a reply to the question?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. So can I go on, or is there another question still?
Yes, I think we can go on. There is another question. Marty is asking that how do we go to the search window for the family
How do we
finder?
go to the search window? You
Yes, we can.
just click here on the search icon up here. Maybe the question is that my search window looks different from yours. Yes, we have two search windows, and you can alternate here. You have one magnifying glass with two dots, which is the one I use. Or you have one magnifying glass without dots, and then you have, like, you can type free typing, you see, free typing or structured word, remedy, family, etc. So these are the two icons to go to do different search windows. I guess this is the question, okay?
She is asking about the family finder search window.
The family search window is here. Search family finder. Search family finder is a module, so it means that people who did not request to have this module will not have it. Okay, and basically it's a work by Anne Verwerke, who is into the family approach of homeopathy since more than 15 years, almost 20 years, and she has made an enormous work of linking families mostly to keywords, key expressions, etc. And you can use it in two directions, okay? So now I would like to go on with the family and speak a little bit about related remedies, okay? Related remedies is something which is existing since a very long time. And in fact, different authors use different words. They say remedies are similar, compatible, inimical, comparable, complementary, etc., etc. In other words, you got it, a big confusion, because then sometimes it is quite difficult to find the definition of this author of comparable, and if it's the same as the definition of another author saying this is complementary. And as you may know, I have done a big work called Related Remedies, where I have collated many sources, and I've also investigated the definitions that different authors gave on related remedies. And the basic idea, which I believe you need to know if you want to use related remedies in your practice, is that the relationship of remedies depends upon the way that the previous remedy has acted. It's two remedies. Two remedies are related. Relationship, we need to have two. Okay, that's clear, two. And what is the definition? Well, it depends on how the first remedy acted. When we know this, we can define the relationship of remedy 2. This is the definition. I will now, again, be practical. What did remedy 1 do? Well, the first possibility, as you know, is it did not act. You prescribe Silicea and it doesn't work. So you want a remedy which looks like Silicea, and that may be Pulsatilla. So Pulsatilla and Silicea are similar remedies. They are collateral. Some author used the word collateral, but the idea is the remedy you prescribed did not act. You want a similar one that looks the same, okay? The second possibility is that the first remedy did act, but it doesn't act anymore. After so many months, after so many years, it doesn't act anymore. And then you're looking for a second remedy, which is called the complementary remedy. It complements, it completes the action that was started, the cure that was started by remedy 1. So these two remedies, the relationship of them is called complementary. And then we have two divisions there. You can say A is followed well by B, or you can say B follows well A. So you can go forward or backward. And the strange thing, don't ask me, is that some authors put remedies in A follows B, but not in B follows A, and complementary, etc. Anyway, in my compilation, I have respected the original sources, but in a way you could say these three categories did act, but not anymore. So we need a complementary remedy to complete the action of remedy 1. Is these three categories are one big basket, okay? And then the third way that the remedy 1 can act is by acting wrongly, by bringing problems, by creating problems and aggravation and new symptoms, etc. And then when it is too bad, the patient is suffering too much, you cannot just say, wait a little bit, drink some water. No, then you will like to antidote. So remedy 2 is antidoting remedy 1, okay? So I hope with this explanation, it is very clear that the relationship of two remedies is always remedy 2 compared to what remedy 1 was doing. Now I will give an example of Aesculus hippocastanum, okay, where this is a print screen from my repertory on related remedies. And you see the antidote is Nux vomica, and you see Aesculus, when you gave it, and it has been acting, it is followed well by colinsonia, but also follows well, so it goes into 2 directions. And so you find, in a logical way, colinsonia also as a complementary remedy here in these 10. And these are the similars with aloe, Nux vomica, and sulfur. And so the main message, the take-home message of this whole idea is, if Aesculus did not act, you're looking for a similar one, for example, colinsonia, or Aesculus glabra. Or if Aesculus did act but does not act anymore, then you're looking for the complementary remedies. Now, I have done the work. It's available. It's available for all the Radaropus users. And let me just go here. Voila. Here is it in the family. It's a family repertory as well. The one thing, the way to use it is that you can go here to Aesculus, for example. Voila, here. And you can just take the symptom and add it to the analysis. You see, I drag it to the analysis. And then if you analyze again, it is just influencing your result, and you have given Aesculus and you're looking for similar remedies because Aesculus did not act. And then this analysis is tweaked again, is changed again, and other remedies I prioritized for you. And some of the obvious ones, sulfur pulsatile, Nux vomica. But again, you see Hammamelis is coming up because it's similar. You see? So this is the way to use the related remedies. Be aware that there are many works, and I've made a big compilation. I think I will, it's one of my plans to make a second version of it, because I have been informed there is some other information which is interesting, which I may integrate. And as always in all our work, if you want to know the sources, you just read the space bar and you see all the precise sources, the references. KR2 is a well-known drug relationship booklet of Calvin Nur that have been integrated into this related remedies of me. Okay. So yeah, questions about using relationships in synthesis. Yeah, and I'm sorry, yeah, while you prepare the question, I give this little other idea that I bring this up because the family of remedies, like the similars or the complementary remedies, is also a family of remedies, and it's the first type of family we had. And the first author who used families approach in homeopathy was Bönninghausen, because Bönninghausen made the concordances. Made the concordances, and their concordances, I'm sorry, voila, here, Bönninghausen, and these are just families, families that are like aconitum in mind and sensorium. And so the family idea is almost as old as homeopathy, okay? And especially if you look at considering related remedies to know what is your best next prescription. Are there any questions I can take on this?
Yes, doctor, you wanted to share something for the vets?
To share what?
Something for the vets?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. Yeah. This is a feature we have added to synthesis Adonis and opus plus 3.3. And when you go here to the views, there is a new view here which is saying only veterinary sources. Do you see that?
Yes.
Only veterinary sources. Now, this means that you can shrink the whole synthesis, which is containing 185,000 symptoms and 1.7 million remedies, etc., to just exactly what is interesting for vet homeopaths. And I will take the example of extremities. And if you go here, extremities, daytime, morning, we start with the burning house and like general symptoms, and you would limit this to the veterinary sources. Is quite empty, the screen. Do you see this? It's quite empty, yeah? Okay. And you do page down, and only here you find 2 remedies. Abscesses after shoeing. I'm sure the vet understands what it means. But this is not so very practical. And one thing I would like to, it's a tip for the vet homeopaths. There is a function here which is saying hide the symptoms excluded from the current repertory view, which can be used in a number of ways. I'm sure Luke or anyone can speak half an hour showing you all the ways you can use it. But in this particular case, it's very easy. You hide the symptoms that are excluded, which means you hide the symptoms which don't contain veterinary information. And with this one click, your synthesis shrinks and only shows symptoms which contains vet remedies, which you can see by the V's, the purple, green, blue V's, etc. And you have here abscesses, ankylosis, arthrosis, awkwardness, bursay, osteosarcoma, etc., all vet additions. So just to show you in another way the flexibility and the power of the program.
We have another question. Can you please show again how we can find similar remedies?
How we can find?
Similar remedies.
I don't know which remedies. I'm sorry.
Similar remedies.
Similar, okay. So the easiest way, I think, is when you go to the repertories and you type related. The general word is related, and you see this repertory of mine, okay? You can open it, and then you can just type, what shall I do? What shall I say? Nux. You can just type Nux vomica, for example. You see, Nux vomica. And then even you hit enter, and you see here the related remedies of Nux vomica. If you would like to have the similars of Nux vomica, this is just a symptom, and you drag it into the symptom clipboard. Okay? So open table of contents of repertories, find Schroyen's related remedies. Then in here, when you're in this screen, you can just type. It's nothing else than typing, you see. I type here zinc. You are at zinc, and you can add, for example, the complementary remedies to the analysis.
There is another user saying that they don't have the option for vets that you just showed.
They don't have the option for
the vets that you just showed.
Yes, of course, of course. The VETS is also a separate program. We have 2 versions of Synthesis Adonis, the human and the vet. So if you're a vet, you have probably chosen to get the vet version. And if you never treat animals, you may have chosen to have the human version. If you find there is a mistake or you change your mind, please contact your representative. We will fix it for you. It's not a problem to give you access to the vet information, of course. Mohammed?
Yes, doctor. We don't have any more questions.
Okay. Well, then I think we are just a little bit beyond the time. I had
Yes,
a
Doctor.
few more things, but I think we'll prepare another meeting sometime where I can give you some more hints on how to use Synthesis Adonis in a very practical way. I hope this was helpful, and please don't hesitate to write questions. And I can just show the last slide here with my contact details. Wait a minute. Where you can find me. So there is here the website. My personal email is firstname.lastname zeus-soft.com. The better email is emailing to Synthesis because I am a bottleneck. I'm sorry, I apologize. And this is attended very well by my staff. I have a Facebook presence at Frederik.Schrooyens, and I have a YouTube channel at F. Schrooyens, where you're welcome to follow me and also to contact me if you would like. Thank you very much, and hope and see and meet and hear you, read you any next time.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.